This video is part of the Young Israel of Memphis Kinyan Torah project. In Pirkei Avot, or Ethics of Our Fathers, Chapter 6, Mishnah 6, we learn that there are 48 ways through which a person can acquire Torah. Many Jews have a custom to delve into these principles during the 7-week period between Passover and Shavuot, as we prepare to commemorate the revelation at Sinai and to once again accept the Torah from God. One of the 48 ways to acquire Torah, according to the Mishnah, is Osa Siag Lidvarav. The most common English translation is to make a fence around one's words. The concept of erecting a protective fence was introduced in the very first Mishnah of Pirkei Avot, where our sages instructed Va'asu Siag LaTorah, make a fence around the Torah itself. This is generally interpreted to mean going above and beyond the strictest letter of the law in order to protect the sanctity of the Torah and its rituals. In Chapter 3, Mishnah 17, we learn that the traditions transmitted in the oral Torah form a siag, or a fence, for the written Torah. Just as we protect the gift of Torah that Hashem has given us, so too must we guard our gift of speech against any possible misuse by remaining vigilant in the face of negative influences. The concept of taking care with our words also harkens back to earlier references in Pirkei Avot. In Chapter 1, Mishnah 11, Avtalion warns Torah scholars to be particularly cautious with their words. There are two reasons given for this. The first is to prevent the scholar's students from misinterpreting his or her lessons. Teachers must be constantly aware of the impact that their words may have on others, and as such should be careful to speak clearly and without ambiguity. The tractate in Talmud Avodah Zarah, Daf 19b, tells us that our sages were so watchful of their words that even their ordinary everyday conversations were instructive. The second reason given is to protect against a Chilul Hashem, a desecration of God's name. Those who acquire Torah accept upon themselves the responsibility of representing God's holy name and His teachings to Jews and non-Jews alike. We all, in a sense, become public spokespeople for the Jewish nation and what it stands for. Our understanding of Torah values must be reflected in our actions as well as in how we express ourselves. Later in Chapter 1, in Mishnah 17, Shimon relays that he has found nothing better for the body than silence, that action takes primary importance over study, and that one who talks excessively brings on sin. Rabbi Dr. Abraham Twersky, in his commentary on Pirkei Avot called Visions of the Fathers, explains that these three lessons can actually be considered one. There are certainly times when human conversation is called for, and we are by no means meant to live as mutes. However, an even more effective way to communicate is through our actions. The word chet, which Shimon uses in the Mishnah, can mean lack as well as mean sin. Excessive talking often indicates a lack of action. As Shammai teaches so succinctly in Chapter 1, Mishnah 15, Emor ma'at va'aseh harbe, say little and do much. If we are to acquire Torah, we must do more than give it lip service. We must be more than big talkers and become big doers by accepting the Torah's precepts and applying them in our daily lives. Rabbi Beryl Wein says in his commentary on Avot, quote, the more knowledge one possesses, the more one is obligated to scale greater heights of action and behavior. Studying may be a fascinating intellectual exercise, says Rabbi Wein, but it must be translated into moral and ethical behavior in the home, in the marketplace, and in the community. This is how we acquire Torah.